Hey kitty cats. So today I'm gonna do a mask. This 2-in-1 Purifying Facial Mask and Exfoliator from Lavido. It's inspired by nature. And Purify, Refresh, Stimulate. There's pomegranate in it. It's for all skin types. Yeah. So recommended for use up to twice a week. Blah blah. So we massage it into our skin, and then you leave it on for up to 15 minutes, and then you go rinse it off. And then it says to follow with, of course, their moisturizing regimen, but you know, I'm just gonna do mine. So it is Tuesday morning, but by the time you see this, it'll be Wednesday evening. So tomorrow, by the time you see this, I will have already gone and gotten my treatment, because that's going on tomorrow. And yesterday was 420, and I had a different thing. But today I'm wearing my, can't really see it, my Cannabis is Medicine shirt. This is like one of my favorite shirts. It's like super soft and comfy. So anyways, yeah, I'm actually so far having a better week than last week. I think Sunday, was it Saturday or Sunday? It was like really nice out, and I could sit outside in the back porch, and I think that like gave me some new life to be able to sit outside on the porch. Made me feel better. I'm out there with the cats, and John was in the hammock, and I waved to people walking by on the street, you know. So that gave me like new life. So I'm feeling like I can pull off 3 videos this week. And maybe a live stream on Instagram. We'll see. So, yeah, it says to just rub it into the skin. So I'm going to take a bit for both sizes of my face and just rub it into my skin. I'm not using a mask thing because it says to do it in circular motions. So I'm going to have to wipe my hands off after this. I like to get it on my neck, which means I'll probably get on my shirt, but whatever. It smells okay. It doesn't have a bad smell, you know. I'm gonna get some Kleenex and wipe off my hands as best I can. And there's gonna be some cleanup after this. This one's a bit messy because you can't use a masking thing because they want you to like, yeah, it says massage it into the skin instead of just putting it on the skin. So I think that's because of the exfoliation part, you know. So hard to even tell it's on there, but it is. And yeah, the smell is decent. Like, it's not overpowering, but it's a nice, pleasant smell. So now we're just gonna talk for 15 minutes, right? That's what we do. What to talk about? I mean, it's so hard to like think of something to talk about that doesn't have to do with, you know, COVID-19. Because just like our worlds are just like so revolving around that. But I don't want to get into that. I mean, I haven't like, not last week, but before that I was cooking a lot more, and I think I'm gonna be cooking a lot more this week too. So maybe I can actually pull off a Foodie Friday this week. Tonight I'm making cheeseburgers and beets, because my beets are almost like chips, but not quite. They're not quite that crispy, but I like slice them on a mandolin and then I kind of like bake them in the oven like that. So, and I prefer golden beets rather than regular old red beets. By the way, it is like a storm here. It is raining and raging outside. Like, just the wind is crazy. I mean, it's not a thunderstorm. I haven't heard any thunder, but it's something's going on, you know. Yeah, so the cats, I think there's one cat that went outside, but he's probably hiding under the porch, and as soon as I open the door he's gonna run back in. because they don't like to be outside in bad weather. Although sometimes Mr. Pumpkin Spice does, he won't come out from under the porch until, you know, it's almost dark, because he wants to be outside and he's stubborn. And we can't get at him when he goes under that porch, so there's nothing we can do about it. That's just how he is. And the rest of the cats are just, you know, laying about like they usually do. Our cats, 3 of our cats are really old, like really old, which seems to surprise a lot of people. But yeah, I have an 18-year-old cat, Noki, and we have Jack is 17, and then we have 14, almost 15-year-old cat named Sugar. And then the cats are, because we do have 6 cats, which I know is really crazy, trust me. I have said that no more cats for quite some time, because I don't want to have 6 cats again. Like, it's not that I don't love them. I love every single one of them. They are babies, but I don't want to have this many in the future. Like, it's just a lot, and it's expensive. I mean, technically Sugar is a foster, the 14 to 15-year-old one. It's kind of complicated. She's our cat, but we could not afford, while John was, you know, not well, and we could not afford to get her to the vet. And so the Humane Society said, well, what we can do for you is you surrender her, and then our vet will take a look at her, and then we'll go from there. And so we did that, and I thought she wouldn't be coming back because she was pretty sick. But they ended up finding out what was wrong with her. She has she's chronic UTI disease, chronic urinary tract infection disease. So, like, the food that we were feeding her was causing it, was causing the problem. She has to eat very special food made just for chronic UTI disease, and it's extremely expensive. So what they did was they were like, well, we can give her back to you as a foster cat, and that way we'll keep paying for the food. So it was like, okay. So she's our foster cat now on paper, and we have and that was really kind of them. I know they probably don't do that for everybody, but, or maybe they do. I don't know. I mean, but it was a pretty awesome thing, and so we're able to, like, still have her in our life. She's very, very thin though. She does not really like her food that much. She likes the soft food, but she does not like the dry kibble. Recently they gave us another kind that's still for urinary tract infection, but it's one of those gravy type kinds, so you add water and it makes a gravy. She likes that better. I think it's because it's becomes soft, you know, when it's in the gravy. So, and that she just doesn't like hard kibble that much anymore. She just wants soft food. And once in a while we give her some, like, food scraps, which they said was okay on occasion for her to have, like chicken or beef or something like that, and just little pieces, just like a treat. So we do that for her sometimes too, but she's a good girl. But yeah, we have 6 cats altogether. So like I said, Noki, Jack, Sugar, and then we have Selena, who's like, I think 9. I have it written down somewhere, their ages and stuff. And then we have my brain just fell, Mr. Pumpkin Spice, and he's like, I think he's just about 6, and Pancake is 3, and that's, we don't have any, like, cats younger than Pancake. It's pretty much after we had Cat Lisi, which was like a rescue that we took in, and she passed away like a couple years ago, I think. Yeah, because Pancake was like around 1 when she died. And so after that I was just like, you know what, like, we had 7 cats. That was crazy. And I was like, I just need a break here because it's a lot of work and a lot of cats. And I said, you know, no more cats until, you know, we're down to like 2 or 3. Then maybe. And I also said, you know, in the future, I think I don't want kittens again. They're cute and they're cuddly, and who knows, if someone brought one to me, I'd probably be like, yeah. But no, I wouldn't. Not until we're, you know. And I don't want to think about these cats dying. I would like just, can they just all just keep these cats and not get any more? You know, I don't want anything, but I also know that the older cats are not going to be around, you know, for too much longer. I know that, but I don't want to think about it. Noki I've had for so long, and she is my feisty, even at this age. Even though she sleeps most of the time, she's still like incredibly like does not put up with much. Although she Pancake does chase her sometimes. She gets mad because none of the other cats would dare, because she's like the matriarch, you know, she's the oldest cat. And but he thinks he's the alpha, so. And but I hope you all are enjoying these ridiculous stories about my cats. I don't know if anybody remembers, but last summer she fought a raccoon. Like, she attacked a raccoon. And she did get one little scratch on her leg, and we were really worried about it. And they said you have to quarantine her for, I think it was 10 days. And if nothing happens within that time, they told us what to look for rabies. And they were like, if nothing happens within that time, then she'll be okay. And the dog catcher was extremely nice to us about the whole thing, which I was surprised. And said, you know, usually in most cases we would just take the cat, but, you know, we'll let you, considering that there's like no, because we couldn't find any marks on her at all except that one little scratch, and they were like, yeah, it might not even be from the raccoon. So it was like, just quarantine her for this many days, and she was fine. So, and we did take her to the vet, and yeah, he was like, yeah, she's fine. We'll give her some antibiotics for just in case, because of the foot, and, you know, we don't want an infection, but like otherwise and she first couple days like in quarantine, she just slept and slept, and I was like so worried about her. But then she ended up being fine. She perked back up. So yeah, my cat attacked a raccoon and lived through it. That's the kind of cat she is, though. She has been through so many things like this. It just always amazes me. She always pulls through. And yeah, sometimes I think about just keeping her indoors, but she wants to go outside, and I don't believe in, like, for me personally, I don't hold it against anybody that chooses to keep their cats inside. I think it's a personal choice with your, you know, cat, because cats are very independent animals. So if my cats want to go outside, I let them outside. If I had a cat that didn't want to, I wouldn't make them. It's not like I'm throwing them outside. And considering how old they are, at this point, it's like, well, obviously I've taken good care of them. Because I've had people say, oh, you're not taking good care of them, they'll die early. And I'm like, all the cats I've ever had in my life, growing up in my house, lived to be like 15, 16 years old, which is a good life for a cat. And they all went outside. So I've just like, I don't know, people, like, yes, there are more chances. There are things out there, you know, they could get attacked by predators or whatnot. But most predators are, you know, evening, you know, animals. Like, and my cats do not stay out that late into the evening. I mean, the younger ones, they try to, but we try to get them inside as soon as possible. And usually they will come in, most of them will come in before it's even dark and they're done for the day. So, I mean, I'm sure some of you disagree with that and whatever. Like, sorry, I don't, tell you how to take care of your animals or your children or whatever. Don't tell me how to take care of mine. I'm very, the only time that I have ever said anything to anybody was when I've seen malnourished dogs, which I've seen many times in my life, just not being taken care of, and that's different. Like, you are not even feeding your dog properly and leaving it outside constantly. And a dog can't, dogs can't roam around like a cat can. And I know some people disagree about this. I got into an argument once with a person who had a rabbit because she wanted to let her rabbit run around free, which to me, in the backyard, which to me was crazy. Because that is an animal that really shouldn't be outside because of predators, because they don't have a very good defense system like a cat does or a dog does. But dogs, I'm gonna say something awful, but I don't think dogs are as smart as cats. Cats come home, and there are some dogs that do, I realize, that will come home, but dogs, you never know with a dog what they're gonna do, and I just feel like they shouldn't be running around without a leash. And we have leash laws here. Like, if there were laws that said we had to keep our cats inside, we would do it because it would be the law. I wouldn't like the law. I would feel sorry for my cats, actually. I feel like cats are like animals that do their own thing, and when you stop them from doing what they want, they're not as happy. And that's just my opinion. So, and if you have an indoor cat, I have nothing against you. I would not tell you that you should let that cat outside, especially if you lived in an urban area. When I lived in areas that, were city-like, that's what I mean when I say urban, city-like, it's, it was different. It was completely different. So, I kept my cats inside. I would not let them outside. I actually had a boyfriend that let one of my cats outside, and I was infuriated. The cat got hurt because we were living in an area where obviously cats can't go outside. Because it's just all, city. There's no grass and trees or anything. Like, there were, but you know what I mean. Like, there wasn't huge amounts. I live in it's not suburban, really. It's something like in between. I don't know. I guess it's not the burbs or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a normal little town. And I do live close to downtown, but not close enough that I don't feel comfortable letting my cats out. They don't go that far. Except Pancake. Pancake's probably the only one that ventures out beyond the yard, and and the neighbors all know him, so it's everything's fine with it. But yeah, I have indoor outdoor cats, so, and it's kind of funny. We go to the Humane Society pretty often, and I've wanted to volunteer there, but it's kind of difficult because of where they're located. And but I always visit the cats, and they've even had there was a sign once with this one cat that said, "This is an indoor outdoor cat." That's the way it's lived its life. So if you're not willing to let it go outside, then you can't have this cat. Because that's the life that it's had. It needs that. And I really appreciated that they had something like that, because there are cats that's if you try to keep them indoors, they go nuts. I don't know if it's certain breeds or what, but yeah, I've had cats. We had this cat that there was no way he was going to stay indoors. I was so happy we didn't live in a city, because I was like, this cat would not be able to handle being indoors. He just constantly tried to slip out the door. And when he was outside, he was so happy. He was always jumping and running. One time he went out in the rain, and I was like, oh my God, he went out in the rain, and I went out after him, and he was just like running around the yard, jumping around, like, and my neighbor had watched it, and she was just like, that cat is an outdoor cat. She was like, you could not, she was like, that cat is just like so happy. And I was like, I know. I was like, but I worry. And it was just like, he was fine. You know, that was the life he wanted to have. But anyways, it's definitely been 15 minutes now, so I'm gonna go rinse this off. Apparently this this episode was me talking about cats. So I hope that wasn't too like boring or annoying. I'll be back in a second. Hey, so I'm back, and I don't know what you think of my skin. It feels very smooth. So it said afterwards to do, you know, their moisturizing treatment, but I'm gonna do my morning stuff. And I'm using the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. I love this stuff so much, but it is extremely pricey. I actually got this from the company in a giveaway that they did on Instagram. So, and I was really thrilled because the only other time I got this was in, what was it, Glassy Locks, I think. And I loved it so much, and then saw the price and was like, oh damn, you know, like I cannot afford this. But it is amazing products. Hey Honey, I have several other products because of, like, you know, boxes and stuff. What is this? What do I have in here? Oh, some lip balm. Okay. Wait a few seconds before I put on my regular moisturizer to let the serum like soak in. Some people say you should put the serum on over the moisturizer, and some people say that it should go by weight and you should do the lightest things first, which serum is like lighter than moisturizer. So just do what you do. You know, because I've heard different things from different experts. And so for me, and I'm not talking about just YouTubers, I'm talking about actual, you know, dermatologists. And because I've seen more than one dermatologist because of my stuff here before we found out what this was. We thought it was just regular psoriasis, but it was more than that. Turned into, you know, that I had psoriatic arthritis, so I needed medication. So none of the steroid creams were gonna quite work on their own. So I saw like 3 different dermatologists before, and they all, I swear they all said, because I asked them, I was like, when you're doing a skin regimen, what should you do first? You know, and I was like, because if you're using a serum or a facial oil, you know, and they were like, all had something different to say. So for me, that's like, well, if every dermatologist is different about what they think is right, then just do what feels right to you, because, or do what your dermatologist says if you see one. That's all I got to say about that. So, this is Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion, and I'm sure somebody's going to comment down there what, you know, that they're a, you know, specialist or whatever, and that this is how you should do it. And I'm like, just like I said, I saw 3 different dermatologists and they all said something different, and you could pick one of those ways or do it your own way and say, this is what I was taught, and it's like, that's fine, but really, I don't think it's that big of a deal if 3 different dermatologists said different things. Like, because one of them told me you shouldn't use a serum, or a facial oil. They said you just need moisturizer, you don't need all that other stuff. Another one said, you know, oh, facial oils and serums should go on first before, you know, moisturizer. And the other said the opposite, that your moisturizer should go on first and then you should put on, you know, the serum. Or, you know, they didn't even mention facial oil, actually. So there you go. I've used so many different products over the years, and I mean, I've seen people who just use Noxzema and seem to have like beautiful skin, and people that use tons of products who don't have the greatest skin, and then the opposite way too. I think it's all about you and how your skin reacts, you know? It's just, so if you're worried about, you know, putting on stuff and what way to do it, you know, you could see a dermatologist and see what they say. You could see, you know, somebody at a spa or something and ask them what they do. I mean, but when it really comes down to it is what you like and what makes your skin look good. Like, if you're doing it a certain way and your skin is looking fabulous, then don't change it. Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. Anyways, so I'm putting this on. This is my Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion. Actually, a friend of mine just asked me, you know, for what do you use for like lotion that's not too heavy. Now, in the winter, I like to use heavy lotions, but during the day, I really don't, even in the winter. Like, it's more of an evening thing for me to use heavier lotion. Because I have skin that dries out very easily because of the psoriasis, so I like usually using heavier stuff. But during the day, I like something light, and so this works out for that. And so I told them about, because they have really skin that greases up really easily, they wanted a light moisturizer, and I was like, this one's actually really nice. And it smells like coconuts, so. And it doesn't, the smell doesn't last. Like, it smells like that when you first put it on, then it goes away. So, there, I did that. And what do you think? Do you like the way my skin's looking right now? I mean, to be honest, you have to keep using these products to really see how well they're gonna work. Like, one time you might see a difference, but usually you don't see a difference until after like several uses, you know? But I think this is pretty nice. I think I'll keep using it. I might use it more as an exfoliator, because it says you can do both, so you don't need to leave it on for 15 minutes, but then again, maybe I'll use it as a mask. In fact, I should put it in here, and then I can just like use it as a mask when I feel like it. So, there you go. I hope everybody's having, you know, or is doing okay. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and do things your own way. Unless, of course, you're being stupid. Like, when I mean do things your own way, I mean like your skin, you know, regimen, or the way you do makeup, or art, or the way you cook even, like, as long as you're not setting things on fire. But, you know, I don't mean do things your own way, like go outside into crowds of people and think it's alright, because that's just really dumb. I know a lot of people think that it's okay to go out now because they think that, you know, well, it's calming down or whatever, and it's not calming down everywhere, by the way. There's a lot of places in the United States that it just keeps getting worse. And yeah, most of the places where it's calming down is places where people have stayed inside better. And if you think that means that it's okay to go out, that's not how it works. Okay? And I know I don't usually talk about this sort of thing because I've wanted to be like, keep this separate and upbeat, but I just have to say, don't go freaking outside unless you absolutely have to. Don't go to a party. Like, don't gather. Because that's really bad. It is not yet time. That's what they did back in the 1800s with the Spanish flu. They thought, oh, we'll be fine. And they opened things back up again. The war had ended, so they had like a big parade. And like within 24 hours, the hospitals were full. Like, and then they had an even worse wave. Like, even more people died than the first time around. So, because it wasn't time yet. Like, if you go out before it's time for us to be able to be around each other, then we will just end up with more problems. And I know the economy is doing awful because of this, but our lives are more important than our economy. The economy is not more important than, you know, people dying. Like, I know the economy's bad, and we'll figure all that shit out afterwards. Right now, just take care of our lives, our livelihood, our health, okay? There goes my notification. So anyways, that's my statement about that. And just follow the freaking rules. And, you know, it'll be okay in the end. Oh, my battery's dying anyway, so. Whew. Share, subscribe, and let this video, you know, give it a thumbs up, all that stuff. It really helps me out, thanks. And try to be kind. Just try. Alright, bye-bye, kitty cats.
Even